Imagine a world where the line between hero and villain is blurred by a single piece of paper. In the vast, chaotic oceans of One Piece, the world government faced a terrifying reality. They couldn't stop every pirate on the Grand Line. To maintain control, they made a deal with the devil. They handpicked 7 of the most fearsome, influential, and powerful pirates to become the Shichibukai, known to many as the 7 Warlords of the Sea or the Corsairs. These individuals weren't just strong, they were icons of terror who were granted official pardons and total immunity from the law, provided they used their strength to hunt down other pirates and answer the call of the Marines when war broke out. This fragile alliance created one of the 3 great powers that kept the entire world from descending into absolute anarchy. The life of a Corsair was a paradox of freedom and servitude. Once a pirate accepted the title, their bounty was frozen, and their past crimes were wiped clean. They could rule over territories, run massive organizations, and sail the seas without fear of being hunted by Admiral Kizaru or a fleet of battleships. In exchange, they became the ultimate deterrent. The government used their names to strike fear into the hearts of rookies, signaling that even the strongest rebels could be tamed or bought. However, this arrangement was never built on loyalty. It was a cold, calculated transaction where both sides were constantly waiting for the other to blink, creating a political minefield where a single wrong move could turn an ally back into the world's greatest enemy. Each of the warlords brought a unique brand of terror to the table, making them legends in their own right. You had Dracule Mihawk, the greatest swordsman in the world, who roamed the seas alone in a tiny boat, capable of slicing galleons in half with a single swing. Then there was Boa Hancock, the pirate empress, whose beauty could turn entire crews to stone. We saw the calculated cruelty of Sir Crocodile, who used his status to nearly topple the kingdom of Alabasta, and the flamboyant madness of Donquixote Doflamingo, an underground broker who ruled Dressrosa with an iron fist and a puppet master's strings. From the hulking shadow stealer Deco Moria to the silent, cyborg warrior Bartholomew Kuma, these individuals were more like walking natural disasters than mere sailors. Despite their status as guardians, the Corsairs were often the very wolves they were supposed to guard against. The system was fundamentally flawed because it gave absolute power to people who had spent their lives breaking the law. While the Marines turned a blind eye, warlords like Crocodile and Doflamingo built massive criminal empires under the protection of their titles. They didn't just hunt pirates, they enslaved populations, manipulated world events, and sought ancient weapons to challenge the government itself. This hypocrisy eventually became impossible to ignore. For every pirate they stopped, they caused untold suffering to innocent civilians, proving that you cannot truly control a predator by giving it a badge. The end of the warlord era didn't come from a battle, but from a vote. During the Reverie, the kings and queens of the world finally voiced the trauma inflicted upon their nations by the very men and women the government sanctioned. Led by Admiral Fujitora, who saw the system as a stain on true justice, the world leaders decided to abolish the Shichibukai once and for all. In an instant, the pardons were revoked, the bounties were reactivated, and the hunters became the hunted. The Marines deployed their entire force to capture their former allies, turning the Grand Line into a massive battlefield as the balance of power shifted violently for the first time in decades. But the world government wouldn't have thrown away such a powerful tool without a replacement. In the shadows of Vegapunk's labs, a new terror was born, the Seraphim. These biological weapons, carrying the DNA of the original warlords and the traits of the Lunarians, represent the ultimate evolution of the Corsair concept, all the power of the 7 warlords with none of the free will. As we move into the final saga of One Piece, the legacy of the Corsairs lives on through these terrifying machines and the few remaining legends like Mihawk and Buggy who have formed the Cross Guild. The era of the warlords may be over, but the ripples they left in the ocean will continue to shape the fate of the world until the very end.